Jonathan.
We'll certainly be watching that as it happens. But we want to return now to some of the breaking news and more reaction now to that brazen attack in Boulder, Colorado, where a man is in police custody this morning after officials say he used a makeshift flamethrower to attack a group of people marching yesterday in support of the Israeli hostages in Gaza, injuring at least 8. Joining us now, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for being here. This, as we noted at the top of the show, comes just a short time after this attack in Washington, D.C., outside an event there that left 2 members of the Israeli embassy slain. Now this in broad daylight. The attacks here. Give us just your sense here. As you sat down, you and I were talking about how it's sort of just one terrible, hate-filled headline after another.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a very, very terrible time. I mean, I think first I'll just say that our hearts go out to these victims. I think their status is still unclear. Although it was said at the top by the correspondent, it appears that this man is being charged with murder. We know that 8 elderly people were affected by this attack. And look, this happens in an environment where we're seeing incitement against Jewish people, against Zionists in the United States and really around the world. Over the last few days, we had vandalism against synagogues and a kosher restaurant in Paris. We had Jewish youth attacked in London. We had public graffiti calling to kill Jews in Brisbane, Australia. And then, of course, as you said, 12 days ago, the murder of 2 people coming out of the Capitol Jewish Museum. By the way, it's 45 days since Governor Shapiro's the governor's mansion in Harrisburg was firebombed. And in all these cases, the assailants, the would-be killers, have said things like, "Free Palestine." The man yesterday said, I want to end all Zionists. He asked a group of elderly people marching peacefully, as you said, to remember the 58 hostages held in Gaza for 600 plus days. He said, "How many children have you killed?" So I think we need to recognize that this dangerous rhetoric, globalize the Intifada, river to the sea, by any means necessary. It reminds me, Jonathan, of the climate that we saw back in 2018 when there was incitement against immigrants. And Robert Bowers said, "Screw the optics, I'm going in," and killed people in that synagogue, the Tree of Life congregation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That was the bloodiest attack on the Jewish people in the United States in our history. And now we have attack after attack, again in an environment of incitement.
Jonathan, we've been talking about it for years, you and I, and you have been every day, every week, every month, been charting anti-Semitic attacks in America and across the globe. Talk about how we're really at a tipping point right now as the anti-Semitic attacks really have begun to spiral out of control over the past month or 2.
Yeah, I mean, the level of insanity, Joe, isn't like anything that we have ever tracked. ADL has been doing this longer than any other organization in America. And we have broken the record for the number of anti-Semitic incidents year after year, 5 of the last 6 years. Last year alone, nearly 9,400 acts of harassment and vandalism and violence that we tracked. That's literally 10x what we saw in America when I started in 2015. Literally, again, the highest number ever. And if you think about it, I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, we're lucky, Joe, that the casualty count isn't higher, because every synagogue, every Jewish school, Jewish businesses have security, have cameras, have armed guards, have bulletproof glass. It isn't normal, and we cannot allow the incitement to be normalized. And one thing I'll just say about this attack, this was not some accident. I know it was stated earlier, we're unclear about the motives. You know who was very clear about the motives? The suspect, the man who literally with a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails attacked these people. He said, like the shooter 12 days ago, "Free Palestine." The FBI is reporting that. So they're creating this environment where you conflate all Jewish people with actions you don't like in the Middle East. It's racist and it's wrong. And I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that my children here in America have to be afraid when they walk to services. Today is the Jewish holiday of Shavuot. It's a day when Jews around the world celebrate when God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. It's about our identity, our covenant, if you will. And the idea that there are people coming after us, assailing us, trying to murder us because of that covenant, look, it's not just anti-Semitic, although it is, it's anti-American to hold out, to harass, and to target people because of how they pray or what they believe.
Right. And in this case, again, Mika, these people were attacked savagely for simply trying to remember the hostages that are still being held, that were abducted, talking about terrorists, by Hamas terrorists.
CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Again
Thank you
this
so much.
morning.